பஞ்சு முறுக்கு மந்த்ரா கடலை எண்ணெயில நானே பண்ணுது. ஒரு சேலஞ்ச், உங்களால இந்த மாதிரி முறுக்கு செய்ய முடியுமா? மந்த்ரா கடலை எண்ணெயில முறுக்கு செஞ்சு பாருங்க. ஓகே.
Most respected Tirumati Sivsankari ji, Dr. K. Srinivas Rao, Dr. Sudha Seshayyan, awardees of the day, Tirumati Ambai, Thiru Nagaratnam Krishna, Thiru R. Ravi Sankar, all the literary luminaries and distinguished persons from various walks of life. I'd like first to thank Chanakyaa for giving me this opportunity to share this evening, this beautiful evening, with her and her admirers. When she came to invite for this, first I was not sure whether I was the right person for this occasion because you heard my introduction. Now, but then I thought, since I knew that it is her birthday, I say, how could I miss her birthday cake? I wish you, on behalf of all your admirers, all your fans and even critics, a very, very happy birthday. She told me she is 82. I said, you are not yet 100. So, we know that for last 18 years, Sivsankari Chandrasekharan Charities has been doing yeoman service to the society in various walks of life, especially those who are marginalized, those who are forgotten, abandoned, whether they are poor children, poor society, disabled, old age people, maintaining gaushalas, dog shelters, so many things she has been doing, this charity has been doing. And now she has instituted this wonderful awards, 2 awards which are something equivalent to the Nobel and the Booker. One for the lifetime achievement in for contribution to Tamil literature, another for a book, an outstanding book. I think it will go a long way in encouraging those who wish to pursue literature as their career or as a passion. We know that our literature and Indian languages suffered enormously during the colonial period. They tried their best to ridicule our regional languages literature and create a complex of superiority about the English. They have done to every Indian language. Tamil is no exception. Tamil, of course, being the oldest, and maybe the Sanskrit could be the only rival in antiquity. They had tried to denigrate this language to the best of their ability. I once happened to go through a piece of Subramaniam Bharati, which was in response to J.C. Rollo, who was the principal of Pachayappa College. Mahakavi Bharati's response came in Hindu in 1919. What J.C. Rollo, as part of the British policy, he was trying to convince people around that English was the only language appropriate for science and philosophy. And he used to say that vernacular languages were just not capable. And Mahakavi Bharati gave such a strong response, saying that Tamil is far superior to English for appropriate and scientific expression. In fact, he took exception to the fact that the British called and J.C. Rollo called Indian languages, including Tamil, as vernacular. Because, in fact, in his response, wherever he used the word vernacular in the bracket, because vernacular was the word used by J.C. Rollo and the British were using it. Bharati put in black bracket Sikh. We know what it is. That is a protest. Because vernacular, we know it is from word vern. Vern is slave, is language of the slave. It was not a fit language for a civilized people. That is the type. And unfortunately, today we have been using the word vernacular very often without, we are so much colonized. They have done so much damage. Tamil writers, Tamil aspirate, and in some measure other regional languages of Bharat, they also protested and they continued writing. These awards, 2 awards instituted today, it has gone to the worthy luminaries, and I would like to congratulate them for their achievement, lifetime achievement, as well as the work. And I know that it will contribute more in years to come, because our Ambayaka is only about 80 years old, just 80, think of it. And the way she walked, I was asking, I pointed, look this side, but by the time I could say you could be here, she walked there. And of course, through Nagaratnam Krishna, you will all continue enriching the language, enriching the society, enriching our collective consciousness. When, I heard about a writer called Seshayyan, eminent writer, great writer, but my physics background and all these I had heard about it, read in the newspapers. When I met her first, it was a very edifying experience. In fact, I developed an undefined respect for her without knowing her too much about her. So she was a great writer, that much I knew, but the very first meeting, I felt a spell of her charm. In public life, we all come across people all the time a smile on their face. And when it comes to politicians, it is like a rictus. It will always be a smile. But look at their eyes. You rarely see the smile in the eyes. Chanakyaa smiles with her eyes. And when she sits, you are in conversation with her, and when she is not talking, there is a song in her silence, such a grace. It was a very, very, as I said, an uplifting moment for me. But when I read her Knit India through literature, the 4 volumes, my respect for her went several notches up, bordering on reverence. Because what she has done is unique. It should have been done before. And such work should be done from time to time. This country, India, to understand it, you will need to go close to the people. Writers, the literature reflects the pulse, the heartbeat of the society. She covered over 100 eminent writers all over the country. I don't know, I was 16 or 18 years, 20 years of project. Enormous. And she choose people from different regions to write the foreword for each. M.T. Vasudevan Nair from South writes foreword for the East. Kuswan Singh wrote foreword for the South. Great doyen of Odia literature, Manoj Das, writes for the West. I mean, people from different. And one of the great writer in the foreword, Manoj Das, compares her with Gunadhya. Gunadhya was about over 2000 years ago. He had collected the folk tales and stories from all over the country. Of course, he was patronized by the king at the time, but subsequently, by the time he completed the work and he got back, perhaps the king, as usual, he lost much interest. And Gunadhya was very upset with that, and he said he will destroy it. He started burning it. Somebody said, what a loss of treasure, and eventually the king intervened, and they saved some part of it, which is now known as, it is around Katha Sarit Sagar. It is the work that Gunadhya had done over 2000 years ago, bringing about all the literature, the oral literature from all over Bharat. And this is the second time that somebody has done to move around the country, travel around, and pick up the great writers of eminence, interview them, listen to them, talk to them, pick their minds, understand the life, culture, stories, joys and sorrows, collect them, compile them, collate them. It's a stupendous work. Then I strongly feel that anyone who tries to understand, who is interested in understanding this country, must read these 4 volumes. When you listen the interview of some author of Assamese literature, the Assamese literature, they say about it has been deeply influenced by Mahapurush Shankardev. Shankardev was about 500 years ago. He was a great spiritual leader and a great writer, great poet. He influenced the thought process of Assam, that is the northeast. But we should also realize that Shankardev at a young age came here. In pursuit of knowledge, he spent time at Rameshwaram, then came to Kanchi Peeth, then went to Kashi, went back, and first poem he composed, Dhanya Dhanya Bharat Bhumi. One who shaped the thought process, he studied here. When you go to the Hindi heartland, you have writers, poets like old poets who influenced, shaped the thought process. Was Tulsi Das, Kabir Das. But who influenced them? It was Ramanand. Who influenced Ramanand? Ramanujacharya. He was a disciple of Ramanujacharya and through the bhakti, and that shaped the thought process, Ramcharitmanas. And he was also deeply influenced by Kambar. You see, the continuum, the cultural continuum, the thought process continuum. Adi Shankaracharya wrote Brahma Sutra here. But who made the Brahma Sutra accessible to the common persons? Common person in the sense that it is so complicated. It was Vachaspati Mishra of Mithila, Bihar, who wrote Bhamati. This was the connect, and this has been the connect. Anyone who has to understand this country, Bharat, has to understand the cultural chemistry of it. Without that, you cannot understand. Unfortunately, we had lost the direction. In fact, in the preface, Chanakyaa writes that when she was thinking of the projects she started, she approached here and there, central government, state government. She was disappointed or demoralized because all the central government and the state governments talking so much about national integration. this sorry, we cannot support you. You were disappointed, but I was not surprised. Because, it so happened that after independence, our leaders, great people, well-meaning people, visionary people, they wanted well for this country. But somehow they had little understanding of this country. They wrote books on history, discovering India, but they were clinical history. It was like a body, dead body, which a forensic doctor examines the every part, the soul is missing. What those people want, they try to create in India. Essentially, a life and history based on what Karl Marx thought. Karl Marx believed that create a new collective, new history, deny the past, bury the heritage and history. A new has to be created. And that's how the project of building this nation began, a new engineering, denying the core strength of this, which I felt in my own life in service when I visited different parts of the country. When I went to the Northeast over 3.5 decades back as a part of my service, my job, I came across letters, everyone said they are different people. Then Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of this country, is on record to say that they are people of Assam and Northeast are not Indians, they are different. We have to, with sensibility, we have to bring them, sensitivity, we have to bring them closer to us. When I went to that area, when I spent time with the people, tribal people, Karbi people, they told me Karbi Ramayana, Ramkatha. Dimasas, they told me Ramkatha. Lushais, they told me Ramkatha. Jayantiya and Khasis, all over I heard the story of Ramayana and Mahabharata. I was thinking, look, how are they different? How do we see that? No, they are not us. This strength of our one country, oneness. Mahakavi Bharati, I don't know much. I must confess my knowledge of Tamil is very rudimentary, but I have read a few pieces here and there. Mahakavi Bharati is the famous quote. Famous, I say, because it looks like very famous to me. When he talked about this Bharat Mata, he says, Sepp modi padanet rodiyal enil chintanai on rodiyal. 18 languages Vaishya speaks, but the heartbeat is one. But to hear the heartbeat, you have to go close to the heart. She did that by moving to all the 18 languages and produced this book. I would strongly recommend, in fact, I would try. that this book should be a must-read in all the central government, state government, training academy for the civil services. They must know what is Bharat, what is India. Because they only taught about the constitution, geography, problems, rules, regulations. But who are you? What is the country that you are going to administer? Very little knowledge of that. Now, I strongly feel that such exercises should be undertaken from time to time at a certain periodicity. And I can assure you that if you have to take another project, you will not be disappointed. There will be people who will be with you, standing by you. Because we know, we need to. This country has been put into darkness for long. You forget your own sense who you are. And how do you get the sense? Literature is the best way. Because it is through this that you get to know not only the culture, the life, far more subtle nuances of the people. It's enriching. It is emancipating. It makes a reader a better human being. In our lifetime, we learn through our own experiences. But our experiences are finite because we have a limited exposure, whoever we may be. But when you read a work of literature, you come across various situations which the writer has created for you. And the experiences that you undergo, it makes you less judgmental, more understanding, less opinionated, more embracing. It is spiritually uplifting. That is the power of it. This trust has done, this charity has done a remarkable contribution, has made a remarkable contribution towards Tamil. I wish similar charities come up in other Indian languages as well, so that our languages prosper, our thought process prosper, collective unity, maintaining the respective idiosyncrasies, the uniqueness, the underlying unity prospers, get strengthened. Because the new Bharat that we have been talking about, we have been thinking about, we have been dreaming about, and we have been working towards building it, it cannot just be a materially prosperous Bharat. It has to be the Bharat which defines its core identity. There is something which is deeper than politics, deeper than language, and much wider than geography. I am taking out the line of Manoj Das. It is, and this is what our country is. You have made a great contribution towards building this country, building Bharat, rediscovery of Bharat. Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations and best wishes to the awardees, and our collective prayers to you for your long health, and so that you continue contributing, guiding us, showing us the way forward. Thank you very much. Yeah.